Hey, welcome back to Made of Wires. We're going to be decompiling Castlevania, but primarily looking at newlib, I think, today. I was able to find the right compiler yesterday. We'll talk about that a little bit. And get into some more things regarding that. I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited. Maybe you should be too. If you want to know more about the Castlevania Symphony of the Night decompilation project, I recommend that you go to soten.z.dev to learn more. And join us on Discord. I think my life has gotten simpler enough at this moment that maybe I'll be able to get back to Discord later today or tomorrow. We'll see. It's, sometimes things are trickier than you want them to be. Give me 1 second while I set up my timer. I found this app to give me a nice overlay timer that I can put in the corner, and the UI controls on it are sus. Alright, so let's get back to what we were doing. Yesterday, I mentioned that So originally, the way this all started is we were looking at font print. Font print called this other function. I wanted to know what the args were. And that other function, which turned out to be, I believe, VS print, looked like it came from a library called newlib. To the best of my knowledge, newlib was not distributed by Sony, so it either came from Konami or one of their subcontractors. It would be interesting a bit, I think, if this came from the Xbox 360 version, but I'm not sure. But yesterday I was having trouble getting this to compile, and so Symphony of the Night game code is compiled with MetroWorks 1.3. We use Service Pack 7, and that usually does the right thing. But it wasn't doing that here. And so oftentimes libraries are shipped as binaries. And so maybe they're created by a different team. Maybe they're created during a different compilation phase and brought in as libraries. But in this case, this looks like it was compiled by GCC 333. I don't know if we have this already in the build system, so we're going to look at that a little bit. But switching the compiler, getting rid of a bunch of the args that don't that don't make sense on GCC, setting the optimization to O2. O2. We get a 99.83% match. The only difference, and this would match perfectly, and we've talked about this yesterday as well. The only difference is this symbol that's different, and I think this might just be a transcription error by Gamester81. But I haven't reached out to him to talk to him about that yet. So I think that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to try to get this to compile. There's actually a second function in this file that we're going to try to get in there as well, and then start importing newlib. There still is one question, whether this is newlib 1.14 or 1.15. For this function, it didn't matter, but we should ultimately determine which one is the right one. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to look for, actually I'm going to, what should we do? Let's rebase. Build. Make sure that this is my branch with Grant Ralph Sifa boss fight that I still need to send out for PR. When life is busy, all the small things don't get done. At least that's what happens to me. This is looking like it's going to be clean though. There's US. And there we go. So I'm going to send that up. I'm going to pop my stash, and then we will look at this. So this is config splat psp.eu main. It looks like I might have this open. Give me 1 second. There's some other stuff in here that I don't want you to see. There we go. Now I'll let you see it. Oh. One more time. Where is this? I don't see a Vim open anywhere. I'm going to edit anyway. Might just be some leftover swap file. And I haven't been editing this, so I don't think it's an issue. All right, so a couple things we have to do. We have to, I'm going to flip back anyway, go back to this original font print. So this was calling this function. This function is unmapped and being treated as assembly. So we need to figure out where this is. We'll just look in main altogether. This is listed as assembly, so it doesn't even show up in non-matchings. Open this in another tab. I think that's open too. Oh, I think what happened. Yes. All right, I forgot that this was in the background. All right, so we're back. Oh, so I'm dumb. Somebody has identified new lib. Let's see if any of the new lib headers are in there yet. I'm going to include them in includes. If not, so Gamester81 is smarter than me. Okay, so no references to new lib yet, which I think is fine. I do have to figure out, though, he named most of these, which is great. So let's find our other function, see if it's there. Yes, it is. So both of these functions, 6.4 and D8, are going to be part of VSPrintf. So let's do that. We'll flip over. And again, I'm going to assume that it's 1.4. So let's open up new lib 1.4. We have the libc source. Let's look for where it is. Looks like here. No, that was wrong. There you go. So we have our so reint only is configured, and we also have VSPrintf down here. So we have a couple issues with this that are going to make this a little trickier. We can't, unless something from new lib is already being compiled, we can't do much about this. But we can add the symbols. So let's do that. So we know that this is vsprintf. Let's grep for that. See if anybody is calling it yet. No references yet, so we're safe. And then the function immediately after, which is this one here, this should be the next one. It should be underscore vs printfr. And that function, basically, if you already have the reant pointer, you can pass it there as well. So let's make sure that we didn't break anything and build again. So the next thing we need to see is if there is anything compiling with GCC already. And let's do a split. So we're going to look at tools builds gen, and we want to look for add cpsp. And we only have the one right now, which means we probably don't have GCC. Bin. I wonder what the Cygnus 2.7. That might be for Allegrex, maybe. It's not actually downloaded though. Well, this is taking a while. Only 73K download. We'll let that keep going. Come on, Fiber, you can do it. Did we build successfully? We did not. So which? Okay. My guess is that this other symbol is used as well. We'll look at that again. And is this? I'm not positive that this is that function. I'm just guessing. But we can verify that that's the case. So we have enough of a context now that we should be able to do this. So let's do that. Let's make sure that the other function is the one we think it is as well. So we're going to do new, since this other one is building anyway. And I am a human today. We're going to take the context from vsprintf. I'm not going to start that way though. I'm going to copy that. So we're using Symphony preset, but we're going to set the compiler to GCC. I guess we don't need the preset. And like I said, I'm not going to overwrite my context. And once again, we don't get a a good decompile because of all the macros and other stuff. I don't think M2C would do a very good job anyway, but it's definitely not here. I'm going to copy the license again, like just to be safe. And let's find that function. So this is the 1.14 version. Again, I don't think that this is different in any way. We will have, so we need optimization set to 2. And we get the same thing. So again, I'm not sure why this symbol. I'm going to change that. I don't think that's right. And I'll confirm that with Gamester at some point. So I say that this symbol is VF print, no S. But this works as well. So the next thing we need to do is come over here. And what I want to try to do is unify these. And so we need the splat config. What I want is, and maybe we can't yet because these are all just individual ASMs, but we can give them their name. We know what file they're in. Throw it into my copy buffer. And so instead of these generic names, what we want is, we know that this is in VSPrintf, and this first function was VSPrintf. And the second function, all that's going to be the same. But this function is going to be VSPrintfr. Yeah, so this one again, like I don't think that the S is here. So let's look at VFPrintf. Sorry for the and so here we should have our excuse me. We should have a vprintf_r function. With an underscore. And I don't see any reference to VSPrintf. Hey, Dig Down Deep. A human, yeah. Hey, Nico. Good to have you back. So here we have this terrible function signature that makes it impossible to find. Our function signature is here. So we do have the name. Again, I'm not sure where that extra S came from. I think it's a mistake, but we'll find out. in the PR. So I'm going to get rid of the S there, because like I said, I don't think that is there. The other ones like sprint R, SB printf, we can look for those in that file as well. Those are there as stated, so I think that those are all fine. Okay, so we added our vsprintf. Let's look for the other ones and see if there's anything we can find here. Oh, there we go. That is a mistake we can fix. So yeah, like originally this was given the name svprintfr, but like I said, I think it's just vfprintr. The new lib 1.4 matched so closely that I have a hard time believing that this would be something else. So why is my this download going so slow? I'm gonna kill this and we will run that in the background. All right. Yeah, dial-up series. Well, it's at least ISDN speeds. So let's. A little interesting that some of these are just left. I'm not sure why. If there's like ifdefs in the. I'm assuming Gamester did all these. Yeah. Maybe it just wasn't clear at the time what the functions were. If there's a couple of things, there's a bunch of macros in here that are all funny, and so if those are in place, there might be things there that are strange. So let's start with stdio find fp. Let's see if this function is one of these. And again, these are just real funny. So here's our sinit. The other thing I don't know for sure is whether or not so we need to get to the end of that. That's fine. Okay, so it looks like that is the end. And so maybe it's just not part of either of these. Let's look at malloc. And my guess is that we just don't have. Malign is such a terrible name for an API. So we have, this is free R. Let's see the definition of free R here. Oh, malloc R. What a terrible macro name. Free E. Wow. So we are standard C. So we want the definition immediately before this. Is it just malloc? We have malloc? We do have malloc. And so what is our malloc macro? We can't redefine malloc, so my guess is that it's underscore malloc r. And we can determine that by which... So GameStar81 already decided that where was I here? We were using FreeR. Why malloc R somewhere else? Huh. I don't know if this is right. I don't think that malloc R would be spread or linked out of order. I could be wrong about that, but that doesn't seem right to me. And so how do we figure out which one is right? We decompile it. Let's see, I wanted the... So let's look for the one between SNet and F3. And I know that this is not Symphony of the Night specific, but it's ancient OS specific, which is something that I like as well. So we have another function that this one is calling, and it can be valuable at times to just go down the stack until we find something that looks a little better. A little strange that we have a label in between this function. This is, unless this is being used as a like a jump, like a go-to label. I think that this is wrong. My guess is that we will have a symbol. Oh, there's no symbol. So that's something Spim created, as far as I can tell. Either something is referencing this specifically. Oh, it's this here. It's this branch equal. Not something I've seen from Spim before, but not important either way. So I think we're going to do this one that doesn't have any... It's recursive, which is interesting. It doesn't have anything else. So we're going to figure out what this function is. Hey, guest 7329, good to have you. So just to back up a little bit, we came across some odd functions that were in the PSP main. A lot of them seem to be implementing libc. Very strange, because libc is already implemented both by the PlayStation SDK and the original PlayStation SDK. This appears to be coming from newlib, which has a very permissive license and is used. That's all we need for now. Is used. I grabbed the whole context. By a lot of projects from that time. And so we're just trying to map what newlib is. We're not going to have a second function here. I know the label wants that. VF print R, get reent. I grabbed the wrong one. did. I grabbed the wrong assembly. So let's delete that. Start over. No, I didn't. Stay on page. Stay on. Oh. I don't know where that came from. Let's try again. Okay, so we have the call to vfprintf, it looks like, and the call to SNet. And all that's fine. It just gives us more to search for, which is nice. So let's do that. We're gonna look at new lib again. So we want something that calls to SNet. And I think what we'll do, we'll look at that. Going to use L to list the files. Then we'll use xargs to grep again. This time we're going to look for vfprintf. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to list. And nothing. Let's do this case insensitive because a bunch of these are macros, so we don't see anything. All right, let's try instead of vfprintf, let's look for reent. And that doesn't help at all. Oh, we actually have get reent multiple times. And a recursive call. So it's not going to be one of those. So actually, findfp is the only one. Let's go back to 1.4. Let's look at findfp. So we don't have much to go on except that whatever this function is recursive. And it's going to call vfprint at some point. Let's try again. Let's vfprint r. Print fr. Okay, so we're going to list those. We're going to try it the opposite way. And then let's look for... We'll just use SNet. All right, so what I want to do now is look for the SNet function, and I'm assuming that these are correct. These symbols are correct. You don't always know if they are or not. SNet is defined in findfp. is where we are. Let's find SNet. But there wasn't any VF printf in here. No print at all. And those look important. Oh, this is possibly interesting. And I didn't think about this beforehand. It is possible that this is not... Let's see who calls this function. Possible that this is not part of newlib. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, unfortunately it's not called. And we may just have a bunch of... Oh, look at this, locking it recursive. So it's possible that the vprintf is coming from somewhere else that we don't see. Possibly during an error. Let's find this macro. Well, that's not what we want. Oh, we're not going to get the Linux version. Not sure what DL is. Oh, deadlock. No, that's not helpful either. All right, let's see what else we can do. Let's look for SNet and see if it's in any macros. Oh, that was for Linux. So 2. Undoubtedly, SNet is, but it's always part of... Find FP, it looks like. Checking it. This looks interesting. Okay, so let's look for checking it. And then VF printf. Oops, that's what I want. I want to grep that. Okay, so we do have several different cases with that. We're not going to look at the PowerPC stuff. It's not being returned immediately. The vprintf function is up here. So printf may be a good candidate. It's the vf printf functions might be as well. So we don't have this local .h yet, so I'm going to copy that and see if I don't know. We're not in a good place yet, so we'll see. All right, so we have check init, we have standard C. We need our VF printf needs to happen before the check init call, and that doesn't happen. And it needs to be recursive. So I don't think it's this. Let's look at VF printf. We have flock, which is not called here. So that leaves us with vprintf. And that is the same. So anything else? Any other options we have here? I guess let's look at newlib 1.15. Any changes there? And it could be that the check init is a red herring. Might be going down the wrong path there. Yeah, I don't see that at all. Oh, interesting. I didn't think about this. Well, no, that's probably not right. We might get a few more. I'm not seeing anything good there either. Let's see if there's any magic numbers here. That can help sometimes. So we know that we're recursive. We're recursive when we call VF printfr. Those are the things that we know. Let's see if we can tell what the arguments are. That might be helpful. So the return value of get reent, so what we're passing to VF printfr is going to be probably the reent macro. And we definitely have cases of that throughout. arg1 is S0. S0 is A0, so that's our format. Okay, that seems pretty standard. And A2 is S1, and S1 is argument 1. So, not a whole lot there. I did get a few more things. Let's look at those, and then I'm gonna just do a grep for any init. And we're still in the same vprintf space. So I guess we'll go through these again and see. Looking at recursive is possibly interesting, because whatever this is, I am pretty sure that it is recursive. However, oh, maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. The jump is not a recursive call. The jump is just going back up to the top. Well, we don't have it called a F-lock, so I don't think that this is going to be a... Let's see. What are we passing to SNet? E0. So we're passing reent. So back to printf. Oh, this is a partial function. We're not getting everything. Yeah. So, no, these are two different functions. Why didn't I catch this earlier? And this one is getting cut off in the middle. So we have a split here that's wrong. So I was never going to find it. So this is our function at the top. I think possibly it's just printf. Let's try that. And then we'll see. And I'll tell you why that I know that this is a... So maybe not this one. Oh, I need to grab some more stuff. There's some definitions that I need. I don't think C compilers around this time, especially not cutting edge ones, had tail call optimization. But I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. We'll see in a second. I do need to add some defines that I forgot. They didn't matter here. They did matter here. So we have a dynamic reent set. Seems like it didn't make a difference though. So this may be the vprintf version of this function then. Let's go grab that one and see. These little tiny functions that it's all this trouble. So we might have the wrong... Let's look at what this is. We might not have all the right things for this. Looks like we need reent small. Let's try the other one then. Still not quite right. I think standard C is defined. As for kicks, let's see if it's better when it's not defined. This is an old style KNR argument list. We definitely don't do that anymore. It looks like I don't have VA decal necessarily. Let's see what is breaking is that we have this standard out R. Oh, that's getting passed to vprintf, and so that's wrong. So this isn't the right one, because this is the normal printf, and we do need vf printf, which makes sense. And yeah, all these macros throughout make this hard to find and read. Let's try this one. And is there anything we need? Yes, we need our VF print R macro. So let's grab that. And what else do we need? We're missing a second call to get reent, and they're checking it, so maybe not this one either. It's too long. We have sprintf. A lot of choices. And let's look at that too and see if there's an init anywhere in there. Sorry that this is a lot of churn here, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, those are the ones I keep coming back to. Oh, I didn't even think about this. Is it possible that this is something that changed? And it also could be possible that this is an even older version of newlib. Yes, let's look at 1.5 and see. I think this is it. So it looks like we have 1.1.5. Is my guess. Right? So that was different. Yeah, so this is the All right, so we need the check init macro now. Oh, this was the PowerPC code. That's not what we're looking for. I'm gonna keep it, and maybe this is a MIPS specific version. That's what I'm gonna go with. So we need a check init that is gonna call what we need. Where's defined that? Oh, I see. None of these are definitions. Okay, so we want check init, and then probably a probably a backslash to continue the line. And here we are. And I said I would tell you why I think that this is a bad split, but not there quite yet. So it's not the right checking it. Are these other ones? Wrong one. So we have not rent small. Do I? I think this is the right one. Okay, so this is closer. Actually, no, this is fine. This is fine. So our function ends here. Is that right? Four. So this is slightly different. Let's see. Let's try it again. See if there's only two here. Let's look again at 1.14. No, but I don't think that this was written the same way. Yeah. So it seems almost certain that it is 1.15. 1.16 didn't come out until later, so it's not that. What else could be happening? We could, I mean, it's definitely possible that this is not the function that we're looking at. And I think I was wrong, actually, about which one this is. That these are two separate functions. The reason I said that was because typically a function ends with JRRA, and almost universally that is the last thing in the function. In this case, there's a jump that goes to line 64 here, and that jump is not what I expected. So let's go through and see. We did find the right basic function. I think our key line that we need to look for is going to be something that's basically equivalent to this. We'll see if this exists anywhere else. Oh, did I grab the PowerPC version? That's possible. That might be what it was. No. Yeah, this version doesn't have check in it. Yeah, we're back to the same thing. So the point of the do while zero is that is a GCC-ism that allows you to return that value in this macro. Basically, it turns these statements into an expression that can be assigned. And is it possible that that was written differently? Maybe. Oh, here's something that I didn't think about. And how do we need to find what the signature of the reint function is. So it could be a slight variation of this, where something is being assigned to reint, or the value of reint is being assigned. That's a little strange. But let's try it. Okay, so that is definitely closer. What if we take the macro out? Okay, so we definitely need this. So we're almost there. Just missing one more branch, and the jump is correct now. Let's turn on debugging. Should give us line numbers, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So this is a little strange. I'm surprised. I would have expected it to be basically the same. Are we not branching? Is there no check here? There definitely is a check. Maybe there's no... Maybe it's assumed that this is going to be... That's what it is. It's not quite... Let's do this. There we go. No, still not quite. Our registers are wrong. Okay, so we... Looks like we don't have the macro. I'm still not sure why. Or we do have the macro, and let's try this. Oh, what is our FP? Yeah, the do while is hurting here. Okay, so close, but something is a little off. Oh, 02? That's what it was. Why did I have 03 on there? I don't know. And this is the beginning of this function. So this ends up working as well. Or I shouldn't say beginning. It takes you back to here, which is the same, and that's where that symbol was in the original. So I was wrong about some things, right about others, but this is... this does look like a... Let's put this back now that I have the right optimization. So we want checking it with... we'll try reant like it is, and FP. Still doesn't work. So it's a slight variation. Either the macro is different, or it's a different version of this function. We'd have to go through and look. So this was open source at the time. People could change it the way that they wanted. I don't know if somebody didn't like the do while, or some other reason, but it doesn't seem like this is from 1.14 because it didn't have this 2arg variation of checking it. Oh, but that doesn't matter. Let's go back. Let's go back and look. Maybe it is 114. Which version of this was it? This is VF. We're looking at yeah, no, this is a different version of this. We need the one with the lock. Oh, but the lock is coming from the PowerPC version. So yeah, this would be potentially a custom version for MIPS. I don't know if that is available. So none, because of the license, none of this had to be open sourced. It could be changed and just embedded the way that it was. And so I think what we have is a slightly different version. We're checking it is a different implementation than it otherwise would look like, or that is part of this. There is, some people have been trying to reconstruct NewLib for PSP as a after the fact open source version. I don't know what the status of that is. I haven't looked at it at all. Let's find that PowerPC directory. Yeah, so I probably would create a architecture specific version of this for MIPS. I'm going to look to see if checking it as a specific macro in any of the machine specific ones. It doesn't. But it looks to be a variation of that. So over here, I probably would change checking it. And we would have to see, like, what is the goal? Is the goal to try to match one of these existing architectures or not? I don't know. But what I do want to do is go back here. We know that this is a VF print F. It's not used anywhere. Let's get back to I have Splat open somewhere. Oh, here's the Splat config. So I'm going to assume that this is a new lib machine. libc machine. MIPS. And this is going to be VF printf. And we'll say VF printf again in the file, in the function. It is possible that this is part of just VF printf. It just doesn't look that way because there's no version that checks quite like this. Look at these type definitions. Cheapers, exponent. This looks like it might just be vprintf. And there was... So this is just a modified version of newlib, I guess. So it's not anything... I want to make sure that I didn't do that. So let's add that simple. I guess that's what it is. And like I said, newlib can be modified in any way, and that looks like what this function is. It fits right in place. And so we have a few more. I just want to make sure that I don't have... There's no vprintf yet. Yeah, it looks like that's true. So eventually what I'd like to do is try to get these compiling, and so that we can get newlib into here. And I think it'll slot in pretty easily. So a little divergence from what we're normally doing on Made Up Wires, but I think it's fun. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But that's what is going on. Go to soten.z.dev to learn more about the Symphony of the Night decompilation project. And I'm probably going to hop on Discord later this week and see if I can work this out. Adios.